Coming to you live from downtown Detroit, this is Benzinga's PreMarket Prep with your host, Joel Elconin.
This is a volatile puppy here, isn't it?
And Dennis Dick.
I've been a penny. I will buy the stock for a penny.
With everything you need to start your trading day.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this Monday morning edition of Benzinga's Pre-Market Prep. Hope everyone had a good weekend. I'm Spencer Israel, as always, joined by Joel Elconin and Dennis Dick on the show today. We got some earnings. We got a lot of ratings. China had its best day in like 2 years, so that seems to be what's carrying us this morning. We're going to talk about all of that and more with our guest as well. Tim Anderson will join the show today, 8:35. He's the managing director at TJM Investments. He'll stop by, as he usually does, from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Again, that's at 8:35. And Joel, what's the word of the overnight market? I mentioned we're having a good morning.
Yeah, major green on the screen, up 1250. Had some follow through from Friday's week close. Went all the way down to 27.49.75. Rebounded. Really like this 27.80 area. We hold that today early in the session. Boom, we'll go back up and test 2,800. But something tells me we might do a little work on the downside first. Crude trading up 19 cents at 69.47. Gold holding above that breakout area of 12.20, but now down 3.20 at 12.25.5. Silver basically flat here at 14.65. And you guys let me know when I should stop talking about Bitcoin here. Bitcoin up $12.50 at $6,395.
I think we should stop now. And
you think so?
Start again if we go under 6,000 or over 7,000, because we've been stuck in the 6,300 area forever. So let me know when it breaches 6,000 or it goes above 7,000, because I think we should trade it then. And we should get long if it goes over 7,000. I think we should get short if it goes below 6,000. That's what I think.
Chat, I'm you know what, Dennis, I'll go with that. I am right now. Well, I'm not going to delete it because I want to keep it up there, but I'm going to keep it on the top 100 stocks that I'm looking at. Right, well, it's not a stock, but I'll keep it up there.
Keep it on your watch list.
I'll keep it on its watch list. So
and you let me know. Set an alert when we see 59.99 or 7,000 even.
A close.
We're all going to get in there. We're all going to trade it.
A close. A close or just an interday?
I just want to see it. It's been in this. How long have we been? Like 6,200 to 6,500. I feel like it's months.
Yeah.
Volatility and that thing is dead.
Yeah, the ARBs just went squisho on that, huh?
We got options.
Well, yeah. So
any right options on it?
Nick must be in there. We hit 57.87 in June. And then we went to 8,000 in July, but since then it's been, basically, I guess the monthly range is a little bit bigger, but 1, 2, 3, 4 monthly lows here, right here at 6,000. So that's a big number on the downside. Dennis, how was that weekend in Canada after, the big news last week? Was there
everywhere?
Was there more accidents?
Actually, I went and saw my one buddy in his apartment building, though, and we went up the elevator, and the elevator stunk like pot. So that's the only spot that I noticed different. So I don't think it's going to be like, I know in the Detroit Free Press, they were writing up an article. I don't know if you saw this, but they're like, be careful over in Canada now if you're driving across to Canada, because, there's going to be people on the road who are stoned. I mean, they're not going to control it that way. They're not going to let everybody just drive around stoned. You're going to get a DUI for it. So it's not like you can all of a sudden it's just a free for all in Canada. So I don't think it's going to be that much changes here, but we will see. I haven't noticed anything in the first couple of days of legalization. First weekend of legalization, we looked okay.
And what was that stock that Alan Brockstein mentioned? Was it LISQ or it's like the liquor store in like the National Canada Liquor Store or something?
CBO is the Liquor Control Board of Ontario.
What's the stock that Alan mentioned on the show?
Well, that's a government run, so I'm not sure. All I know is they broke that monopoly a number of years ago. You can actually buy your liquor and your beer at grocery stores now.
Was it YGYI?
It was LISQ.
What was the premise of it? Like, what was the reason for that? Like that he mentioned it?
Because they're going to be the distributors. A lot of like the Lion. It used to be like the Lions Liquor License Bureau, and they had a lot of reorg and everything. Let me see if man, come on, Chad.
You're messing all this up, Joel.
I am not.
It's Monday morning for Joel.
No,
He's still
it's
recovering from his drinking binge after his big blue win. You must have been partying it up after that one.
No, come on, Chad. Help me out here.
He doesn't know.
I know it.
Okay, we're leaving this.
Brent, can you help me?
No.
I had it up on my screen.
You're on your own, Joel.
I looked at it, and it had a double top.
It's 8:06. You've been talking about this for a minute, and you're boring us all now.
It had a double top at like 780, and I wanted to buy it, and next thing I looked at, it was like 820.
It's supposed to be a really good one when you want to think about it this bad. You keep thinking. Me and Spencer are going to go talk some earnings stocks.
Okay, go ahead.
We got the toy maker Hasbro getting the beats here this morning. It's down 7%, and shockingly enough, the kids aren't buying as many toys.
Well, the headline Friday was that they announced another round of layoffs. Surprise, surprise. But the earnings this morning, Q3 EPS $1.93 versus a $2.25. Estimate sales $1.57 versus $1.71 billion. So a bad miss for the EPS and sales in the Q3 for Hasbro.
Stock down $7. I still think rallies to be sold in this. I mean, it had and we've been talking bearish on it ever since the 90s. Since that time, it ran up to over the $100 area, so it had a good run up. But I still think they got to figure it out. But kids aren't buying as many toys as they used to, and even that, it's all hand-me-down stuff. I mean, when you buy a toy, think about how many kids get to play with that. Because most of my toys came from my friends' kids. That they just, hand them down. So I don't know. And it's always been that way. But with the way the electronics are now, I've said it before, and we try to limit, the kids' screen time. But the kids prefer the electronics way more over a traditional toy. So that's not good news for Hasbro or Mattel.
No, Hasbro trading down $7.50 at 90.56. So that's a big move. Let's check out the pre-market low. I mean, I thought that this thing was just hanging out for $100 just for way too long. I think they have some deals with Disney, so I think that helps keep some products in their stable. Your pre-market low 89 even, so you are off that. Man, we have not been below $90. Last time we were below 90, we had a low at 86.28. So keep an eye on that pre-market low. We did get a little bit of a bounce. Someone has an opinion here at $92. The highs of your last three 15-minute brackets have been 92. So no upside in Hasbro until you get back over 92.
Also reporting earnings, the other HA stock, Halliburton from the oil field. Spencer, how'd they do?
Yep, Q3 EPS 50 cents is in line with the estimate. Sales 6.17 2 for $6.16 billion. So a slight beat on the sales figure and a inline EPS print for Halliburton.
Halliburton trading up 76 cents here, but this stock is just not in favor. Joel outlined it perfectly last week when I think we were talking Schlumberger. I mean, these stocks, let's put it in perspective. Oil was $29 and these stocks were in the gutter. Oil's now $75 and these stocks are still in the gutter. So if they can't rally when oil rallies that much, and they did rally a bit, but I mean, they've given it all back very quickly. I think this is just a value trap, if you want to call it, or what. I mean, it's just out of favor. I don't like buying stocks that are completely out of favor for that long. I think you got overhead supply up at 40. I don't see any reason to buy this thing up 2% today.
LQSIF.
You got it.
Oh
what is it? LQ.
SIF.
Well, that's too many letters.
Well, it's
the bulletin board stocks. LQSIF. Is this one traded in Canada too?
Yes.
Elconin?
Yes.
What's the symbol in it? Okay, I'm going to go find out the symbol in Canada here. If somebody knows it. There's a lot of weed stock traders here in our chat. Somebody will know it, but I'm going to look. So it's Elconin, and the symbol in Canada is CLIQ. All right, adding it to my list of weed stocks in Canada, CLIQ. I can even tell you what it's doing in Canada this morning. Oh, no, it's doing nothing in Canada because I don't know if it's over the counter, but there's no market at all on it. It must be over the counter. 10.35 is where it closed in Canada.
All right. When we had Alan on, it had a triple top at 780.
Well, this has got a dividend and stuff. What's the stock all about? Now you got me interested. It's got a 3.48% dividend. This is like a bond.
It's safer than a bond.
Is this the weed bond?
Yes, this is.
Well, why does he like this?
Because they're like going to be like part of the distribution, I believe.
I don't know anything about Elconin, but this is actually, a stock, a real company that's actually got money. They make money here, and they pay a dividend there. We got to research this one further, Joel. Thanks for wasting 2 minutes of our time here. Maybe I'll find an investment for my investment portfolio.
Okay.
We'll see. I don't know anything about it yet. We got to do more homework here, but dividend. So you don't see a lot of, potential weed stocks with dividends.
It's had some reorgs and stuff. It's had some problems, but now I think it used to have another name under it, but I don't know. Let us know, Dennis, because we're talking long-term stuff here, and a weed stock with a dividend. I mean, are you ever going to find that? But I believe.
Well, let's go and just Google exactly what they do here. So that's the nice thing about Google. Type in Alcana and business or something. Okay, so what's Alcana do? It's a liquor store company in Edmonton. So this is where the headquarters are. So okay, so this is just basically in Ontario. We always had the LCBO, but I think in the other provinces you don't. Now I'm still trying to figure this out here. But anyways, okay, we shouldn't figure this out live.
Okay,
we'll do research here. We'll come back to it. But it looks like something distributor of liquor. So maybe they're going to be, like you said, distributor of marijuana as well.
There you go. Halliburton trading up 76 cents here in the pre-market, 38.30. We have yet to reach Thursday and Friday's highs. So 70 cents still away from the double top at 39 even. So use that as resistance. If you do not break through 39 on the hop here, I look for this to come down and test the matching lows at 37.53, 37.63. So basically, matching range day. So keep an eye on those, see which way it decides to go. But overall, just not a good looking chart here.
Trend is not your friend.
Right, not at all.
Kimberly-Clark earnings, KMB, Spencer, and we saw Procter & Gamble blast off into orbit on theirs. Joel and I, with some egg on our face, we thought this thing would stop at the $86 level. I actually tried to play it short there, but it blew through that top. So making new highs, I had to cover. So I lost a little bit on that call. And stock continued higher. It is down here a little bit this morning. Go to KMB because similar company.
Yep, $1.71 versus $1.64 on the Q3 EPS, so a beat there. Sales $4.58 versus $4.55 billion, so a beat for the Q3 EPS and sales. They did cut their fiscal year net sales guidance, and they named a new CEO. But the Q3 EPS and sales beats were, I think, the driver of this.
Okay, before Joel does any technical, I just want to say this is really wide right now. We are 6 points wide here on KMB. It traded up to 114, it looks like, and 113.5. And then this looks like it's majorly leaking here. So you're now offered at 111.90. So don't get too excited if you're long this. The best bid is way down at 106. Is a little odd lot of 41, but 106.05. That is 6 points lower as your best bid here right now. So just caution whoever is buying this right now, because we are full in price discovery mode. And if they decide to really start to get ugly, there's nothing in there.
Hit that high at 114, peeling back. I would just 111.57 up $1.27. This wide of a market, I would just keep an eye on the close and the low. They're right in the same area. 110.13, 110.23. So hold 110 here. You have a chance at a rally. Yesterday's high way up at 113.33. Use that as resistance. If in fact you lose that 110 level, 108 could be there in a heartbeat. So keep an eye on that. And just Procter and Gamble, I am the unproud owner of some puts much lower, some 85.
So we both lost money on this one. I
Yeah.
tried to flat out short the stock off the 86 level. It went 86.05, 86.10. I can't remember the exact details, so I covered. I think I lost maybe 15 or 20 cents on the short, but try to call top, and then both of us doing the same thing. We shouldn't try to do that.
No.
So here we are trying to be a hero, trying to call the top. It's a hard thing to do. So I think we should start jotting down when we make bad calls. It's often that we're trying to call a bottom or trying to call a top. And man, that is just tough trading to do.
I mean, it was a penny beat. You take it up.
Well, I know.
I mean, come on.
We didn't like it at 85. We didn't like it. And it was in the 85 handle we started covering. And we're like, I'm like, that's going to be, I saw the major seller up at 86. I'm like, well, that's going to stall it. It cut through there and just boom, just kept going all morning.
And you know what? So, it had a chance too. It got, I think, just a little bit over 87. And then it came down to 85 and a half. And I'm like, okay, I'm not even going to look at this anymore because I know this thing is going to go down. I'm not even going to look at it anymore. And then, I don't know. And then I thought JP Morgan upgraded it midday or something. And then that thing just took off. And I just, so I ended up eating some of it. I still got an eye on a few of the 87s for this week. So see if I can salvage. No, I mean,
I think I'll look at the book for you.
There's nothing.
The next level, 88, 60,000 shares because it didn't trade up to 88. It just finds the next whole number. It got up to 87.76. Didn't quite get there. And then 89, 35,000, and then I can't see to 90. It's too deep in the book.
Well, if there's any institutions out there and you are not selling your Procter & Gamble, then please
take a look at the KHC chart. Maybe it takes a day or two, but eventually I think it comes back in too.
Yeah, maybe a day or two of consolidation. So before we get to the next move, but yeah, very surprised, especially, I mean, the market rallied in the morning. So, okay, you can go with the market and stuff. But when the market was real choppy in the afternoon, that thing just went straight up from 85 and a half. So anyways, you live and you learn, you move on. Spencer, what's our next earnings report?
I mean, those were kind of the big ones.
Yeah, Polaris, PII, it's up $4. We don't have to go into details on it if you don't want. You also had Pets Med, PETS, cool ticker symbol.
Dennis, look at this PII.
They were due to report. I'm not sure if it's out yet.
Yep. It's out.
PII, look at that. It's closed on the low of the move yesterday at 90.33, and you're trading up $5.50 at $96 with a bunch of resistance at 95. So if this thing can't just get over 95, whole 95, and just keep on rallying, I mean, you talk about overhead supply in this stock. Got plenty of that in PII. I don't even care what the report is.
Let's go to Talk China here because this is really the catalyst for our rally this morning. We were down significantly at the 6 o'clock open, Joel. We were down. I looked maybe around 6:30, 7 o'clock, so about an hour after we opened last night, and we were down 15 handles. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a good day because I actually came in a little bit net short. And then I wake up at 3:30 in the morning to check my SPOO quote, and we are trading up 10 handles. And I'm like, vomit, what happened? So anyways, what happened is China stocks decide I'll blast off into orbit overnight. You got Alibaba trading up $5. All the rest, if you want to go to the ETFs, you can look at the FXI. It's trading up 3%. EEM always traces a pretty good two emerging markets, not all China, but a lot of China in there, 1.71%. So you are seeing big pops here overseas. That is our catalyst here. Thoughts on this Chinese rally?
I think maybe Barron's contributed to this a little bit. They talked
but I would disagree with that because why did we trade down 15 handles Friday? Was there something that happened over? Because Barron's is out Saturday morning. We wouldn't have been down 15 handles if that was the reason. At the 6 o'clock open, was something said last. I thought you said, Spencer, you saw something that was said, or Joel last night about China.
Well, President Xi vowed, quote, unwavering support for non-state companies over the weekend. I don't really know what that means, but that's the headline. So
there is a headline, we think, driving it here. And I mean, yeah, we got in the chat, they're talking China stocks here too. So go for that's cool, the name. Go for the W. DUBYA. I like that. HUYA up, IQ up. I mean, it's this Chinese rally all over the place here this morning. So if you're long Chinese stocks, you got a big smile on your face this morning.
Yeah, just keep an eye on the open, the follow through on the open, follow through the pre-market high. I'll just talk about the most popular, probably the most widely traded one, and that would be Alibaba, trading up nearly $5 at 147.90. Trading near the highs of the pre-market session of 149.10. There's no specific number at 150. Your 3-day high is 150.68. So I go with that. That was also your high from last week. So you get back above that, close above that. That would take another $3 rally from here. Overall, just a downtrend, keeps on making new lows of the moves, and then just gives this little like I'm gonna rally.
That's what happens.
Yeah. Yep.
I got caught in that with the LA Baba. I was like, look at this. And then I held on to a little bit in the investment portfolio. I shouldn't have did it. And I've been buying some Chinese ETFs on the way down here, trying to increase my exposure because it's very underweight. And so I've increased the exposure through some ETFs. They've been the wrong decision because it keeps going lower. So I don't know. I've got some emerging market ETFs, more exposure to China, but not happening here. I don't know when. If maybe the bottom is in here now, we keep thinking that's going to happen. You just said a great, great way you put it there. And then you think, oh yeah, this is it. And then it just seems like 3 days later we start, leaking again. So I don't know what to say here. I'd like to come in here and buy some of these Chinese stocks. I think there's some of these names are starting to get cheap, but again, this market just is, and maybe we should take this to an S&P conversation too, because Friday was an interesting trading day. I mean, we were up a lot of the day. We sold off in the afternoon pretty hard. But let's put it into perspective here. We still had an inside day on Friday. And what that means is that the low of the day and the high of the day was lower than the previous high of the day and the previous low of the day. So when you have an inside day, it's not really telling you much. And now you're sitting right in the middle here. So I would say still full-on battle between the bulls and the bears. And until we get above 281 on the SPY or below 275 on the SPY, I think the battle continues.
It just my weekly levels just concur with that. When you take the weekly high, the weekly low, and your weekly close, divide by 3 gives you a weekly pivot number, and that's coming in right at 2780 here. So your pre-market high is 2782. We're trading at 79.25. So I'm just going to keep my neutral hat on here, and we hold 2780. Then I think that perhaps, we are going to go back up and test Friday's high right at 2,800. Another couple inside days, really trying to protect the low of the move. Thursday's low. I mean, we basically made higher lows for the entire week. So that's a good sign for the bulls. Step up buyers. We had a little bit of a blip on Tuesday. You had 45.5 low on Monday, and then you had that 83.25 high on Tuesday, but then 56.5, just really trying to find support. That moved down to 27.49.75 last night was definitely a gift if you had some shorts on, and I did have a few shorts on. I was thinking, man, I wish we were open right now for some of the spider options. But anyways, keeping an eye on 27.80 here in the S&Ps.
Yeah, let's look at just HUYA, IQ. Those are widely traded in our chat, and both those stocks have continued their downtrends here. Yeah. Yes, you're getting a nice rally here this morning. Again, though, so many people underwater in these things, it's hard to really get excited about it. IQ, get above 25, maybe it gets more interesting, but 25 was where we struggled on Friday. Got up to 24.99. I want to see what it does at that level. Can it get above 25? And it just seems like every time these things rally, they're just met with more overhead supply. And that's the problem. When stocks are going up and they're making new all-time highs, there's no pain up there. There's nobody that's caught long willing to sell the stock. All there is, just everybody is up in the stock. It's all a happy trade. Now this is all sad trade IQ. For the last 4 months, it's been straight down. Everybody's been trying to call, anybody who's been trying to call the bottom has been hurt because the stock just closed at a 4-month low there on Friday. So it gets a little pop back here. People who bought it 5-6 days ago, all of a sudden are getting their money back. And they're like, okay, I'm going to get out. And if you go a little bit higher, the people who bought it a week and a half ago are saying, okay, I'm going to, I can get my money back here. That's why there's so much overhead supply. And that's why, the pain continues. You look at 26.5, it's a brick wall for the last 7 of the last 12 trading days. The highs were there. So, it's really hard to just jump in and say, okay, yeah, this is the bottom. This is going to be the time. One of these times you will call the bottom. And just by luck, you're going to get it if you keep trying to call it. But it's hard to make money calling bottoms.
I like that. Now that you just coined a new term, the happy trade and the sad trade.
Yeah. So look at the charts. It's trending down. The sad trade is fully on. If it's trending up, the happy trade is on. And from my experience here, it's easier to buy stocks when the happy trade is on than to buy stocks when the sad trade is on.
I'll give you a little
deep thoughts here this morning on a Monday morning. Deep thoughts.
I'll just give you a little bit of a closer number here for you HUYA traders. And to me, the level of interest here is $23. That's your 3-day high at 23 even. Your 4-day high was 23.04. And then you had another high at 22.70. So for me, level of control is $23. After that, you could be giving some back above 23. You can look to the upper $23 handle. You had a high on the 12th at 23.79. So I'm keeping an eye on that one. An IQ, I still wish I had my 30 puts that I don't want to say.
Gotta go longer on those things.
I know. Double bottom and lean on here, 23.31 and 23.44. 25 is my level of interest in this one. 4.99, 24.99 was Friday's high. So that's it. You haven't even taken out Friday's high yet here in IQ.
Let's go to some of the ratings. There's some interesting ones here. Intel, let's start with this one.
Sure.
Cash and upgrade in Amira Instinet. I'm long this thing in my investment portfolio. I'm down $6 or $7 now. It's been a complete dog. Wish I would have sold into the last rally back at the end of September when it went up to almost 50, and we actually started saying, you're going to run into overhead resistance. That's when I should have been saying, okay, I got most of my money back. I should get the hell out. Okay, so it gets an upgrade this morning. The stock was trading up fairly significantly here this morning, and all of a sudden, it's giving back half of those gains again. I mean, the stock is upgraded. It's only up 1% here this morning. The Qs, just put it in perspective, are up 0.77%. So it's barely beating the Qs on an upgrade. So that is not good news. So anyways, I'm talking against my book here again because, like I said, I do own Intel in it. But what was the high here on Intel today?
Boom. I would say 44.92. I see a 44.93 print as well. So let's just call. So
you've given back almost half, like 44 to not 45, good. 44 and a half we just printed. It's not good news when, and it's not upgraded and boom, okay, there's an analyst making a call and they're saying Instinet saying we've seen the bottom here. And it's up 50 cents when the market's up this strong. It kind of feels like crickets almost on this upgrade. They don't care. Why? Because everybody is killed in this thing. Everybody's bought the thing. The sad trade is on in this one too. And there's so much overhead supply. So I'm part of it. I mean, if I saw this thing pop back $5, I'd probably like, get out too. So we're all the same thing trying to get our money back, and it's ugly.
45.18. That was Friday's high. Stopped short of that in the pre-market here. So keep an eye on 45.18 above there. I mean, just an upgrade now, just as it's sitting on the low of the move, and actually it's knocked on the door 3 different times. You had a low at 44.89, and then you made that low a little bit lower. 43.73, and then 43.86. So keep an eye on let's just call it $44. A breach of that could be more pain for Intel.
Yeah, that's maybe the way to play it. And obviously, it's like I said, it's in my long-term investment portfolio. But you sit on here, triple bottom, trying. Is it going to hold? We'll see. Today it's upgraded, so it's showing some life here. But what I'm arguing is not showing enough life here this morning. I would have thought it would be up more on an upgrade. And if you look at the other semis, I mean, here's Micron and the complete gutter. This stock has been the worst value trap, maybe one of my worst investments that I've ever made on the show, because I obviously originally bought a little piece at 60 and I bought more at 50. I bought more at 45. I turned around and sold part of that position at 43 because I'm just like, okay, forget it. It's just, and I've kept a little bit of it, but it's been awful. Let's, call a spade here. This thing, I don't care how much money they make. Fundamentally, the company is very sound. Technically, it's just broken. And it's, again, the victim of everybody being in this thing and being caught. Every time it rallies and tries to rally, gets a nice little 5-6% rally, you think, okay, that was the bottom. It's safe to jump in the waters. It resumes its downtrend. Trend, not your friend. Me talking against my book once again.
And how about another one where I just didn't have enough patience in? I mean, how long is it going to be before AMD trades under $20? I mean, they go up. Everyone loved it, had to own it, upgrades galore, price target raises when it's at $32, $33, makes the high of the move. Hits 23.66 yesterday, closes on the low of the session here. I don't know what kind of retracement you want to figure in this thing, but a lot of air between 20 and 25 here, getting a little pop today. 27.10. I mean, you're still almost $3 from Friday's high. So another one where, man, the analysts are chasing price in that one, and they nailed the top. And here we are turning down in AMD. I'm not sure when they report, but a lot of people still sitting on a lot of profits too. I mean, this stock was at under $15 in July and doubled in September to 34.14. And what are they going to do? Make a penny, lose a penny. Make a penny, lose, right? Is that what they do almost every quarter? Let me take a look here in the earnings for AMD.
You were trying to play this from the short side. Are you still trying or no? You're out of it.
I gave
I'm shorted overnight, but that's just a day trade there, so I will be covering that there today. So obviously taking it on the chin. I just thought we might get some follow through here, and that's obviously not happening here this morning. So I'm wrong on that trade.
AMD's out on Wednesday, folks. So obviously some people wanting to get out here ahead of the report.
It's just rallying because it's high beta. And you got the Qs up. It typically has a beta over twice the market. So when the Qs are up 0.7%, that's going to be up way more. Yeah, just the way it works.
High beta.
CMG upgraded at RBC here this morning. We got a underweight rating on Friday from somebody, I believe, on this. Now RBC battling this analyst because they're coming out with the flat out upgrade here this morning. Stock is trading up $7 in the pre-market. You know, technically you got a 420 level here. And fundamentally here, I still don't know why people want to pay this kind of multiple for CMG. But from a technical perspective, I can see, the potential there for what RBC is doing here. Maybe the 420 low hold. So trying to call a bottom here. Obviously, the trend in the last month is not your friend. But if you go to the weeklies, there's still kind of an uptrend here. So I could argue 420 for a bit. If I was buying this thing, I would not want to own it if it went below 420. That's what I'll say.
Oh, going back to that 420, huh, Dennis?
420. Look at this. Yeah, legalized pot in Canada, and that's all they can talk about. Even my levels now. 420. I'm like Tesla, Elon Musk. I don't have a girlfriend, but maybe my wife will think that's funny.
Well, you're trading up on 1,500 shares here. You're trading up $8.47 here. Your last tick, I'm sure that 2 shares traded at 437 even. Just when I look at the dailies here, I see a bunch of highs. I'm going to call 436. 436. That's going to be my real number going into the session. If it holds above 436, that's above Friday's high of 436.51. Maybe you get a chance to test 440. But under 436.51, I really don't see much. Your close on Friday was way down at 428.54. We got Tim Anderson here from the floor coming on in 1 minute. Dennis, anything in imbalances?
Square 47,000 to buy. That snapback rally there, obviously, with with getting hit on Friday, higher beta, so not surprising that it's up. Just quickly, I just want to say PayPal. I sold my PayPal on Friday. So it was a huge pop. It was up, $7 or $8 in this tape on earnings. So I was like, thank you very much. I originally bought this at 89 and obviously taking a lot of heat on it in my investment portfolio. Maybe I should have stuck with it. Maybe it's still good long term, but I just feel like, I've been lightening up into the rallies in everything. I've been doing that because I'm concerned about this market right now. I'm still concerned, and I'm not going fully to cash or anything like that, but I've been using rallies to raise cash. And all of a sudden I got a 6 or 7 point rally in PayPal overnight on a pretty good numbers. I use that to lighten up. So I'm out, or not even lighten up. I sold my PayPal.
Okay. All right.
Took the loss.
8:34, Spencer. We got a guest coming up.
We do. We're going to grab our guest right now, Tim Anderson. He's the managing director at TJM Investments. We'll be right back in a moment with Tim. All right, welcome back, everyone. Pre-market prep, Spencer Israel, Joel Elconin, Dennis Stick. Having a hard time tracking down Timmy Anderson, so we're going to roll right back into the ratings parade, and I wanted to start. We had done most of the big upgrades of the morning, but I wanted to also hit on one that caught my eye. We had done Intel, we had done Chipotle. I wanted to look at AT&T. They're catching an upgrade this morning from Tigris Financial, from neutral to buy, so I'm going to pull up the chart of T here.
Does Tigris move things? I don't know if Tigris does.
Not typically.
I've never, and AT&T's not even moving on this, so I'm not sure there's going to be any action on this. To tell you, 108,000 shares to sell on AT&T this morning. We know it's defensive. It trades like bonds. TLT is flat, so I don't think that's going to have much influence on AT&T this morning. But as of right now, AT&T is trading not up very much on this upgrade.
Can they clear out the seller at $33?
Let's go look.
Yeah.
See how big he is.
And the reason I say that.
Or she.
Yeah. 285 was Thursday's high. 295 was Friday's high. I also see a high at 3306.
You're good, Joel. You're good.
Yeah. What do we got?
100,000 there at 33.
Okay.
Sitting in the book. And not that that's a lot for AT&T, but it's enough to stall it. So there's 100,000 at 33 even. So that's the bogey. You're right. To get really going, you need to get about 33. Take out that big seller.
Hey, what if they're like a crafty seller and they're like, well, sell me 100,000 there.
Yep.
But if I can sell 400,000 there, let me know.
Yep. There's crafty sellers out there. We talk about that all the time.
Or let her get up to 3308, suck in everybody on the 33 longs, and then come in with another million at 33.
You sneaky little trader there. You sneaky. You should be an institutional trader. Joel sneaky.
That's just what the chart. That's what the chart's telling me too. And then also T had that nice run to 34.40. You had to break down, let's call it the 32 even. So you had a 2-point breakdown. That's just about 50% to 50% retracement. So I'm gonna make a note here. T 33 for the week. I'm gonna keep an eye on that one.
Sneaky seller.
Okay. What else do you have?
We had Bristol-Myers. This one's interesting this morning. They had some drug news on Friday that I thought it seemed like it was good news to me for Opdivo, but they're catching a downgrade this morning to neutral from Citigroup, and they're also lowering their price target to $57. So the press release read, the headline read positive to me in BMY, but I guess that's not the case.
In any regard, this stock is getting slammed. And you look at Merck, you look at Pfizer, you look at Lilly, all these stocks are sitting near their 52-week highs. Bristol-Myers is just getting slammed. So I don't know why. Maybe there's something else going on here, but Bristol-Myers not even looking like another big pharma stock. The other big pharma stocks all look healthy, and this one does not look healthy. I think we're going to retest $50 eventually. That's where you had major support come in earlier 2018. You have multiple lows around 50. At the 50 area, I could get interested because it's bounced off there multiple times. Gets up to that 3.5% dividend. People start licking their chops. So we're going to be down here this morning. We're trading 52.75 in the pre-market on this downgrade there. I don't think we're getting there obviously today because it's a slower beta trading stock. But I mean, trend is not your friend. We've come all the way down from 63 down to 52. Why not come the extra 2 points and test the 50? That's where I think the buy level is. Maybe if I'm trying to call the bottom, which obviously has been an expensive sport for me as of late. $50 though is the level that I like.
I'll tell you here, if you want to use contrarian indicators here, on October 9th, I'm not going to mention a name here, but someone on Fast Money would buy Bristol-Myers Squibb. This was on October 9th. It hit a high of 63.69 that day, closed at 63.23, and that was just
where did you find that? Is that in the Pro?
Yeah, that's in Pro.
The Pro covers everything. We even cover analyst comment, or we cover the commentary from the Fast Money contributors there.
Yep.
So somebody had a bullish thesis, on Fast Money there
on October 9th.
Yikes!
Okay. Well, I'm glad.
I got an idea who that is too, and I think we're buddies with him, so I'm not going to say his name either. I think Joel might even go on one of their shows. Am I correct?
I don't. No.
Oh, I'm wrong. Okay.
That's it. It wasn't.
Everybody makes bad calls. I make bad calls too.
I know.
So
I mean, I'm sure people could fill up an entire Pro with the bad.
Oh yeah, you all made some really bad calls. You make calls all the time on stuff. Some are going to be good, some are going to be bad.
I know.
So it works.
Spencer?
That's a tough one. That's
All
a
right.
tough one.
Can I bring it back to the ratings? Because we had
Who
one.
was it then? If it wasn't our
my
buddies,
gosh.
or was somebody that's one of
Nah,
our.
Guy Adami.
Oh, it's Guy. Okay.
Yeah.
No, we've never had Guy, and I actually don't know Guy Adami, so I don't think you know him either. So it's okay to say Guy Adami. It was Pete because we love the Nigerian brother. Joel goes on their show, Stocks and Jocks.
And
so
I cannot,
we can't say anything about Pete.
I cannot wait to go on tomorrow. Spencer's going to show me how to get Hailed the Victors on my computer. And then when I go on, right, Spencer? You said you would help me with that today?
Okay. I mean,
and then when I go on the show, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start out with the greatest college fight song.
all right, I'm bringing it back to the ratings here. We're getting another downgrade. Another downgrade to a Wingstop. We just covered this one, Thursday? I think I downgraded at Morgan Stanley. Another downgrade here, this time from Wedbush, downgrade to Wingstop to neutral.
They're ganging up on it, trying to break that downtrend, but the trend is still there. So can it break it? I would say if it get below, and I think it's exactly what I said if you were on the tip. I'm just having deja vu here, but I said the Bulls are in control as long as it's above 65. I'm going to keep saying that. As long as it's above 65, the Bulls are in control. That thing breaches 65, and there's not, that's where you had the big run up from like 50. You got a gap down there. So I think 65, Joel, that's the major support that this thing absolutely has to hold.
Ah, man, oh, man. I mean, I don't know. This might be the straw that breaks the camel's back here in this one.
A double downgrade?
Yeah, double downgrade. Kind of going with the street on this one. I mean, 75.58. It hit that all-time high. I think Cole pointed out to me, this thing trades at like a ridiculous PE or a forward PE, being bolstered by mergers and and the takeovers and the privatization in the restaurant sector. I keep an eye on 70.50. Your 2-day low, 70.84 and 70.39. You have your close right there at 70.79. I'd say if this thing can't get back above that close from 70.79, I think you can see some more downside. I'm not sure what you're seeing at 65 here. Going back.
I'm seeing all those lows, September, October. There's a whole pile of them there. Actually, look at September. I got 64.93, 65.01, 65.12. 65.05, 64.62, 65.05 again, and then back we had 64.64. Okay. So that's what I'm seeing, Joel.
I'll give you that. Okay. All right. Forget about my 70.50 number. 65.
No, it might be fine. I'm just giving you my number is 65. My number is lower.
And look at this, and just almost matching ranges on Thursday and Friday. The highs within 30 cents, the lows within 35, 36 cents. Your closes are too. So. And this is a thin one, too. Wow. It's 668,000 traded. So big bound day on big volume here, and Wingstop may have turned for the worse.
What are these comments? Do you have a Berenberg note on Tesla this morning? Because I just saw it fly by, and it's saying Tesla's bull case might be above $500. Berenberg is saying. Tesla's not really responding much to this morning. It's barely up. Berenberg's not hugely influential, but that's a big number.
Seeing the same headline you are, so that's all I got.
That's all I see is that headline. I don't have the note, so you don't have the note either.
Nope.
Okay, so we got the same headline. Berenberg saying, so just reading a Tesla bull case may be materially above $500 is what Berenberg is saying. So Tesla just hanging out here this morning, not doing anything. Do a quick technical here because this one did get hit on Friday. We do have a nice support level below. I mean, we've bounced off this 249, 250 area multiple times. Didn't get there on Friday. We got down to 253, but there's buyers in the lower 250s.
Yeah, there was. And when it held up, it didn't. I think I mentioned back there that it did not make a new low of the move the day that the spoos fell out of bed. So that, to me, showed some relative strength. So that 250 area, low of the move, 247.77. Yesterday's low, 253 and a half. We're far away from that. Big level on the upside, 270. Friday's high, 269.66. Thursday's high, 271. And Dennis, I actually got, I wouldn't call it an argument, but maybe a little bit of heated discussion with a guy at the gym over the weekend. And we were just talking about Tesla and autonomous cars and driving and stuff. And I don't know if I have too much Gene Munster on my mind and stuff, but I still think, the the mode of transportation is going to change a lot rapidly in the next 5 to 10 years. If Tesla is the car/computer technology company that it's supposed to be, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be shorted down here. It's always hard being long it, but above 250 here, I mean, Tesla's looking good.
Tough. There's buyers here in the lower 250s. So as long as if it ever breaches, I'll just say that if it breaches at 247.77, I absolutely do not want to own it. But I kind of like it in the lower 250s. So I would say if I'm buying in the mid 250s to the lower 250s, I'm stopping out at 245. Give yourself $10 because it's a wild child. That's how I would set that up. And I don't want to own it below that because that's where we bounced before. And even if we go back out to the monthlies, you can see, well, I guess in April, I was looking back in April, we got down to 244. So, so okay, lean on that low, 244.59, the April low. Yeah, that's what I would say is if I'm buying it long here, I'm leaning on that April low. That's my thesis. You got to give it some room. I mean, you can't give yourself $1 stop on Tesla. You get stopped out all day long. So, and that's, the key thing is when you're doing swing trades is they have those stops too close and you protect your capital more, but you're getting stopped out on everything. So you got to give yourself some wiggle room. Something I've always struggled with, I still say, I think I'm a very good day trader. I think I'm a very good overnight trader. I think I do very good on the 1 day time scale. And swing trading, I think I make some good calls. I do okay, but I've learned a lot from our guys in our chat. And trend following, doing some different things. I think, that's still, it's a little bit trickier. And then the long-term investing, I've done good on some, bad on some. I'm still figuring that out.
Okay. Well, everyone is now one, but I guess his appropriate time is at it. I got a special announcement to make, Dennis, and I don't even think you know this. On Thursday, November 15th, we are going to have a guest for 30 minutes to discuss technology stocks, Tesla in particular. Who do you think that guest is going to be?
Jason Rasnick.
Gene
Munster.
Yes.
We got Gene coming back?
Yeah, for a half
30
hour.
minutes. What day is that?
Thursday, November 15th.
So about a month, we got Gene Munster for 30 minutes. I mean, you sit down with Gene, and Joel and I have sat down. Obviously, Joel's pretty good friends with Gene. You sit down with him, you learn a lot just from talking, the way he's thinking. Obviously, got the Loop Ventures. I subscribe to his newsletter. You can read those newsletters. He sends them every Saturday morning. But they're thinkers, man, and they're thinking long-term stuff. So I'm curious. That'd be great to talk to Gene for a half hour.
Yeah, that would be good. So S&Ps are holding in there, Dennis, up 1075 at 2778 and a quarter, adding more significance to that 2780 level here. Let's see if this is just a mirage rally or that's going to be able to hold the gains throughout the remainder of the session.
There is one more rating I want to bring up, and that was eBay. I don't know what is going on here, but they called a downgrade this morning from Bank of America to neutral. Yeah. What happened to eBay?
Well, that was PayPal. There was something on the conference call. So eBay, I think, was downgraded on Friday as well, but it was more from the conference call comments. There was something, and I can't remember, goldfish memory on me, but I read it quickly. They're the headline anyways. Some type of commentary, maybe Lobster can help us out. He's really good with the news there in the chat. But something was said on the PayPal call that really knocked eBay down. And then also, obviously, had a downgrade, I think, on Friday. Another downgrade here today. eBay is all of a sudden looking really ugly.
All right, let's take a look at the chart here. And eBay, look at that, down 60 cents. Low of the move was 28.37. You're trading below that level right now at 28.15. Really will be keeping an eye on 28.75 here. That was the close from Friday. And just off the top of my head, Spencer, you think this has anything to do with, the emergence of StockX? Dennis, have you heard about StockX at all?
I don't. This move? No.
I mean, just the overall, maybe StockX is something that's been created here in Detroit by Detroit's own Dan Gilbert. And it's basically, it's not as expansive, or they're trying to be, but it's basically a secondary market for tennis shoes, watches, purses, things that sold out in stores and now people bought them a long time ago. They evaluate the price, the condition.
So if eBay is an online auction for goods, then StockX is an online market, like secondary marketplace, like a trading marketplace for goods. So you buy and sell.
Competition coming.
You buy and sell. You make bids and all that, like stock market, but for consumer goods. So that's if eBay is the auction, StockX is the marketplace.
And they're bringing in some big money for expansion.
Yeah.
They're expanding all over the United States. They're expanding into Europe. I mean, some big old money coming into this. So I don't know if that's something that, obviously, the market.
I mean, there's competition for selling stuff, and obviously, all over the place there. You think about eBay, but, you got these Facebook stuff, where you got these groups that they buy stuff on there now. I know my wife, is in this mom's group, and there's always kind of stuff they're selling there. Everybody's got, stuff where they're obviously able to kind of, I mean, it's not a full-on auction there, it's different, but there's competition coming for you.
And what about
I think that's the main thing.
What about people like you that still buy your kids' toys at garage sales?
That was the eBay trying to put the garage sale out of business. They haven't yet. They haven't successfully done that. I do that during the summertime. That's what I do with my kid. I take my 3-year-old kid to the garage sales. He's 4 now, but he was 3 all summer. And we look for, and he would tell you, we look for toys and tools. And he says, no glass. He says, he would always say, no glass, glass. I mean, it's like glassware. So we'd do the drive by, and my boy would be looking out the window. He's like, all glass, Dad, go. It's all glass. We want toys and tools.
All right.
I'm looking for tools. He's looking for toys. That's what we buy at the garage sales.
Someone's asking here about Fiat Chrysler here trading up.
There's a big headline on it.
Give it to me.
Yep, the headline is they're going to sell one of their units for 6.2 billion euros. This is kind of going against the philosophy of the way the company operated under the old CEO. But now that someone new is at the helm here, they're going to sell. It looks like there could be sign of things to come, and they could be selling off more. But the first headline today is that they are selling off their Magneti Marelli unit for 6.2 billion euros.
There's also some news on Fiat Chrysler.
You bought a new car?
I'm gonna buy the old one that I've been leasing. I'm done. I'm done leasing. I mean, this car is like a tank, and they're not gonna be making it anymore. And I'm so.
What is that? What car is that?
The S300, the big old tank. And I've been looking at these lease deals. They're all horrible. I don't want to drive an SUV. This thing just plows through the snow. So I'm just like, the heck with it. They're gonna pay it and be done with it, and then hopefully it'll run another 20 or 30 years. But anyways, this is a nice pop in Fiat Chrysler here.
Yeah.
1633 is your pre-market high, trading on some good volume. I'll say let's stay above 16 here. I see a 1605 high, a 1638 high. So let's use that 1638 as a bogey. After that, it opens up to $17. But man, just look at these car starts. Man, oh man, look at your GM just skimming on the lows of the move here.
On okay day, bounced back a little bit Friday, but they've been just awful.
Yeah.
I sold half my Ford.
I know.
So this is how much I was wrong. This is the only one I had was Ford. Had it, for years, and I finally sold half of it because I don't know what's going on, but it's pricing it like, it's the whole argument that they've been in a great environment, low interest rates forever, and they aren't buying the stock. The company's making more money than ever, and they don't care, because they're worried about future earnings, interest rates, and we talked about this last week. It's ground zero for these things. I mean, as interest rates are coming up, and they are going up here right now. I didn't think that they could climb as high as they have, and they have to continue to climb up. It's not good for car buyers and home buyers because they're big ticket items that kind of people obviously need to borrow money to buy. And if you're borrowing at a higher rate, you may not be able to afford it.
I mean, if you want to look at two sectors that maybe are screaming recession here, look at the auto stocks, and then look at this XHB. I mean,
the home builders are just annihilated. And we've got this one right. Every time these things have rallied, we've been, on good numbers, we've been saying it's been a selling opportunity. Toll Brothers, Lennar, I mean, we've been all over this trade. So, a lot of things we get wrong. We get right, we get wrong. This is something that we've been on the right side of. The home builders have absolutely been killed. There is actually some ratings here today. Lennar catching an upgrade from Deutsche Bank. They're downgrading PHM and Toll. A little bit of a pair trade for them. But I mean, look at these charts. They all look awful. The trend is absolutely not your friend. Overhead supply, the sad trade, whatever you want to call it. This is just not where I want my money.
And Spencer, pull up the monthlies on this one. I can't believe I did not keep a closer eye on this because I remember talking about that 38.50 level. You had April, May, June, July, August, and September. All the month, not daily lows, not weekly lows, but monthly lows, all within right at that 38.50 area, right? And it loses that. It made a low at 33.52 yesterday. So it's usually like a slow moving, stodgy thing. But man, once you take your eye off it, boy, that is just a big, ugly red candle after breaking monthly support here. Next monthly support. Ooh, I see a little bit in here. You had two monthly lows back in December of 2016 at 33.48. Your January low was 33.72. So maybe some shorts might be again coming in here, keeping eye on the $33.50 area. And XHB, that's a hard one to say.
This is a good argument. I just, maybe closing the thoughts. But I mean,
Sure.
We talk, technicals a lot on the show, and there's a lot of people, who are technical traders, and that's it, one-trick ponies. But I'll tell you, if you were completely just ignoring the technicals, at 2018 and saying, look, they are in a rising interest rate environment, and they're going to raise rates multiple times in 2018. And from a fundamental perspective, that is just not good for home builders. And you came in saying, I don't want to own any of those home builders, or potentially even shorted them at the beginning of 2018. You got paid big time. And those trends were absolutely straight up going into 2018. PHM straight up the last quarter of 2017. Toll Brothers straight up the last quarter of 2017. Look at, Lennar straight up the last quarter of 2017. In 2018, as interest rates have climbed and climbed and climbed, these things have got killed. Lennar 70 started the year up at what? 70, over 70 bucks. Say $70. Let's just say called $70. They actually did continue up for the first week of 2018. But since then, since like mid-January, Lennar has quietly lost like 40%. Toll Brothers is down almost 50% from the highs. KB Homes, another one, it got up to like 37 bucks. It's now 19, almost halved. And you can look at the other ones too. There's some other smaller ones as well, but holy cow, Lennar, $70 down to, almost under 40 bucks. I mean, that's why I say, yeah, use technicals, but don't be a one-trick pony. You need to understand how everything else works as well, because, there was money to be made just saying, hey, interest rates are going higher. That's bad for autos. That's bad for, home builders. And are you late to that trade now? Yeah, I think if you come in here and saying, oh, interest rates going to continue to go up, it's going to continue to be bad, I think you're late on this trade now. But that's what's happened. Home.
All right.
Then we may have lost Dennis, but that's a good time to.
Did you lose me?
You had a quick audio glitch in the Matrix, but you're back now.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope you just heard my.
You did. It was great. No, I concur, and just something to keep it.
Simple trading, simple thoughts, simple trading.
All right, we'll wrap things up here. S&P's 27.82. We are now $6 off that pre-market high.
Giving her back.
Yeah, giving her back here. So let's see. A very important. I'd say very important morning for the market. Get back over 27.80. Get up, try and test that 2800. If not, we just got some back and filling to do and some consolidation. The close from yesterday or Friday, 67.50. Mid-range on the session, 27.66. All right, Spencer, you want to wrap things up?
That'll do it. That'll do it for our show today. Folks, we are about 3 weeks away from the Benzinga FinTech Summit. If you're on the West Coast and you're interested in fintech, you should go to bzsummit.com. The promo code PMP VIP gets you 80% off your ticket there. And for all of our news-based traders, Benzinga Pro is Benzinga's real-time news platform. The promo code there is AMPRO. So pro.benzinga.com is your URL, and AMPRO gets you 25% off your Benzinga Pro subscription. Please remember that all the information from our show is for informational purposes only and not meant to be investing advice. And on that note, we're done for today. So hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope you all have had a good Monday morning so far, and hope you join us again tomorrow.